Timo, in your video you stated that the club is from the city. You also stated that you will work with homegrown talent. How does that match with the idea that you are searching for a German players and maybe a German trainer?
Yeah, I think it matches very well with the current team as well, because I think the current team is not only homegrown players. We have a combination in a very international team. So I think we are looking to make sure that our talents have the best environment to strive, and that is, in our opinion, also especially on the defensive side, and also in the practice, it's good to have players around you who are different style, who are different body type, who are different physicality, to make our players better. So everything we do is to make our homegrown talents better.
I once heard a technical director says that, especially with a regional club, the trainer should talk and instruct in Dutch and not in English or what language ever.
That sounds like something you've heard a few years ago, but in the end I think what is one language we all speak is football, right? And I think it's a combination out of head coach and assistant coaches, which in the end makes the combination perfect. And I think for us it's in the end, what can we see on the pitch? If we see the change we want to see on the pitch with the coaches and the assistant coaches and the players we see, then we do everything right. If that's not the case, then we can judge this in 6 months' time, and then we can discuss that topic as well. But if you look at the club here, I think they had a quite decent history with German coaches in the past.
But should that connect with the expectations of the Dutch audience, the Arnhem audience?
Yeah, I think if you look at the past, I think they've never had an issue with German coaches or with players who were not from Arnhem. Because if you look at the past few years, and if you also look at some big successes here, they have not been achieved with only homegrown talents. So I think we're not looking to change the DNA of the club. We're looking to enhance our own people, to make sure that we bring a better, and we also give these young talents the chance to actually make it into the first division, right? Because that is not only talent, it's in the end a lot of hard work and also a lot of motivation.
Last week you decided not to go further with the current trainer, John van der Brom. He sounded really agitated about that. He said, well, we never talked with the management before, and now I get to hear that I'm not in anymore. First, your comment on his reaction.
I can understand his reaction, because I would be frustrated and upset as well. I don't think that is necessarily the truth, that we didn't speak or that he didn't speak to management, but in the end I leave this where it is. I think it's a sign of frustration and being upset, which I understand. Everybody will be upset if a contract is not extended somewhere where you would love to stay.
But he is an icon. He is a Vitesse icon. He's played a lot of games. Didn't that match in your picture of being an Arnhem-based club, and the club is from Arnhem?
Yeah, I think he's certainly an icon here and a legend, especially for his playing time, which is already a few years ago. So I think what we are focusing on is on the future, and I think he will always stay an icon here. But for us, the most important part is, okay, how can we make sure that we bring the best possible squad and represent our vision and our plan for the future on the pitch. And he got a chance, as much as everyone else got a chance, to present his vision and his plan moving forward. And in the end, it's a collective decision between the management board, the supervisory board and the shareholders to decide what to do.
So his vision didn't match with the vision of the management and the stakeholders.
It might also have been the way of communicating that vision, which may be not transparent, or not translated to what we would have loved to see. I wouldn't say that I'm sure his vision is big and he has good ideas for this, but in the end he needed to not only convince me but also everyone else around here. And I think this is also, and we need to be honest with that, this is the time where we can change, where we should change if you look at what happened in the past, and this also involves the first team.
Okay, you attracted another icon, Theo Jansen. He is going to be a technical advisor. What interests our readers and our viewers is, did he know that John van der Brom would go out?
If you look at the time frame of when Theo Jansen came back, and I had always a great relationship with him, also when he left. And if you see the timeline when he came on board and the coach left, I would say that he certainly must have been aware that this is a situation which is happening, and he is still here. So I think that is something which every reader needs to answer themselves.
Okay. Another thing, you love football. You said, well, we believe that, and you are pronouncing that also. But you're also a businessman. There also, you said, we are investors. We are not a charity organization. There are some rumors about other parties, third parties, who wanted to buy the club. Is there a minimum, a limit on your involvement with Vitesse? Or if there is a good buyer next week, will that be the new owner?
Yeah, that is a very good question. First of all, you can imagine I get calls every week from people who say, I want to buy the club, I want to buy this and that. It's local people, it's also people from everywhere. But in the end, there's a lot of, they had 2 years time here, right? There were 2 years, a situation where they needed someone to step in and no one did. So I doubt that there will be someone coming around and doing it now. But I think for us, this is, I think this is a very, very interesting opportunity. And if I asked you if your house is worth 1 million and someone comes around and pays you 5 million, would you move out tomorrow? You potentially consider that. So that's the way I see it here. If someone comes around and offers me or us as a 5 a ridiculous amount of money, which is an offer which I can't refuse, I would certainly consider it. But it's not that we are running around and trying to sell the club.
Okay. You told also that you were involved with Michael van der Kuit from Gelredome, the owner of Gelredome. You talked 2 times with it. The outcome was not what you expected or what you want. How important is it for the investors to have an agreement on the stadium?
I mean, how important is it to have a stadium? Very important. How important is it to find an agreement with the stadium owner right now, where we have 5 years left on the lease? It's certainly important to solve this matter in the next year or two, but in the end, it's for us. We think different, and we want to think different on every level. So we will consider all options, and in the end, it takes 2 to find a solution. And it's in the end what we're looking for. And if this is here, if it's with the current owner finding a solution, then it's great. We would love to do that. If the solution is without the current owner, then this is what it is, and we will work with that as well.
Okay, so it's not a first priority that we should have Gelredome.
No, I mean we would love to, but we shouldn't do it. We shouldn't have the stadium by jeopardizing the health and the sustainability of the club. Right? If we need to pay an amount for a stadium, which the club just is never ever able to pay, then it's not sustainable of doing that, and that will kill the club immediately. So I think for us, we would love to have the stadium and keep playing in the stadium, but only in a way and under conditions which are actually sustainable for the club.
Last question, personal question, Timo. You work very hard. You said yourself, and I think that's true. You're involved very much. Has there been any moment with all the challenges that are on your way last month that you were thinking, why did I step in?
No, I didn't think that. I mean, I didn't think why I stepped in. I certainly was surprised by a few reactions and by certain events happening, because it didn't really seem logical to me, or there are certain events which happen which you can't really explain just by normal sense. I'm usually someone who is involved in business where you have 2 sides who have a goal, and then you achieve that goal by negotiating and by finding a solution. And there are a few instances where this was not the case here, where I couldn't understand why certain decisions have been made. And that is where I certainly stay a night or an hour or 2 longer at night to try to understand that point, because I'm always trying to understand every viewpoint. But that certainly cost me a few more less sleepless or more sleepless nights than actually the opportunity itself, because I still think this is an amazing once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, appreciate it.